This is the For Freedom Podcast. This podcast exists to bring to light the legalism and abuse in the independent fundamental Baptist movement, and to encourage believers to grow in grace through the Scriptures. Now, here's your host, John Hollyfield.
Welcome, everybody, and this is the For Freedom Podcast, and this is a casual Friday episode. And so with the podcast, we cover a lot of deep, serious topics, heavy things like abuse and biblical topics. So I wanted to do these type of episodes because just to give sort of a lighter handle, sometimes we just need a break, we need a breather, and think of more lighthearted stuff. And so you may want to skip the Casual Friday episodes are going to be a range of topics and from everything. So you may look at the heading and just skip it if you're not interested in it, or just look at what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about some upcoming football season and different coronavirus, COVID-19 quarantine entertainment choices. Okay, what's going on there, upcoming things. We may talk. In the future, we may talk basketball, we may talk about NBA, we may talk about Star Wars. I'm a Star Wars nerd, so Marvel or something. So just watch for the heading on the Casual Friday episodes. If you want to skip them, that's no problem. But if you want to go on and listen, and never know where this conversation is going to take us. So I'm joined today. I am in North Kakalaki. I am in North Carolina with my main man, Jimmy Styrofoam. James Safrit here. James, tell everybody, hey.
Hey, guys. Excited to be here on the For Freedom Podcast and excited to be able to talk about some of these fun topics today.
James is a youth pastor in North Carolina, and he's been a friend of mine since basically we were in the nursery together. So we're going to a couple of things that we have common interest, and then we're going to have a little bit of a craziness. What I want to do with these Casual Friday episodes is sort of wrap them up with some craziness or insanity within the church that we can look at, point out, and say, okay, that's just dumb, and laugh about it. So, first thing on the agenda item today is the upcoming NFL season. I love me some NFL football.
Oh yeah.
Last year's Super Bowl winners were. It was not the Patriots.
No, that's a good thing.
It was what?
That's a good thing.
What? Like me some TB12, although he's not a Patriot anymore.
Yeah.
But last year's Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes and crew.
First time ever.
Yeah.
For the Chiefs.
Yeah, and see, I live in Tennessee, so everybody was jonesing for the Titans to try to. I don't know if that was a fluke or not, or if they're going to be anything this year. My guess would be that the Titans probably going to have a mediocre record again, sort of 500 tier like normal.
With the Patriots not been as stellar as I think they're going to be this year as they were last year, that's what knocked them out. No, the Patriots didn't they knocked the Patriots out.
They knocked the Patriots out first round.
So they may actually have a good season, and if they can capitalize on some draft picks they had and all season.
I think that's where it's going to be for the Titans. It's going to be utilizing those new guys. I know Derrick Henry will probably still be a beast, but if he can stay healthy, I don't know what they're doing about the quarterback situation. What about the Patriots quarterback?
That with Belichick, he's always going to bring someone in, whether he cheats or not. He's going to get he's going to get someone in there.
No, he didn't. He went there.
He's going to get maybe an 18, 17-year-old in there that's really good. You never know. Brett Favre may come out of retirement on his walker just to help out the team. Who knows? But we'll see. I think Belichick, he's a good enough coach where he's got some guys in the pipeline where he's going to do something good there. But it will be interesting to watch the Patriots. I mean, it's going to be interesting to watch. I'm really excited about Tampa Bay.
Okay, so speaking of the Patriots quarterback situation, their former quarterback, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, Tom Brady, is playing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What the heck?
Yeah. I think it's a fun move for him. I don't think it's a wise move. I think he should have went ahead and hung it up.
Yeah, me too.
But, it's sort of a fun time to let's go to another team, see what we can do there. New coaching staff, new rules, new regulations. And he pulled Gronk out of retirement. That that'll be fun just in and of itself to watch them at a different team and to see who can stop them. They'll be playing the Panthers this year, and we're both from North Carolina.
Yeah,
so,
our team. I pull for the Titans because I'm in Tennessee, but my team is the Panthers. Your team's the Panthers. Panthers dropped their quarterback.
Panthers, yeah.
Panthers dropped their quarterback, Cam Newton, and
was he a quarterback? I didn't think he was a quarterback his last 5 years.
Man, shots fired out the gate today. Okay, so we got Teddy Bridgewater, who really.
I'm excited about Teddy.
Teddy Bridgewater had looked like an interesting career going in Minnesota. Got hurt really bad.
Yeah.
Shows up as a backup for Drew Brees at the Saints. Drew Brees gets hurt last year, and Teddy Bridgewater
stepped up.
He got the job done, and so his stock rose. So then he goes, and Carolina signs him as their starter. So, what's your looking at the Panthers this year?
Well, first off, they got Teddy Bridgewater. When they first got Teddy Bridgewater, I said they got the wrong TB. They should have got Tom Brady. But initially, I think he'll do well. I think he'll represent Carolina well. I think watching him with the Saints last year, he did a phenomenal job as a quarterback there. And I think it's the leadership that Carolina's needed over these last couple of years.
Carolina's also got a new coach this year.
They've got a new coach. I think that Riviera and Cam overstayed their welcome for about 5 years.
Really?
It's my
Rivera
opinion.
too?
I think both of them. I think Riviera was trying to hold on to Cam Newton and kept just putting him in there when he wasn't healthy. And he was sort of thinking 5 years ago when they went to the Super Bowl and lost and was just trying to keep doing the same thing and not change it up enough. And once they figured out how to stop Cam, they figured out how to stop Carolina Panthers. So I think that they just were hung up on that 5 year ago season back in 2015 when they went to the Super Bowl, or whenever it was, 14.
Yeah, did he win Coach of the Year that year?
He won Coach of the Year. And
Cam won MVP.
Yeah, they weren't able to win, and they were just trying to get back to that by doing the same thing without innovating, without changing.
But they had Christian McCaffrey, but they were using him way too much. And I know the old saying is, if something's worked, don't change it. But I mean,
it was broke though. You look at Cam Newton; he was getting beat up too many times, and he just couldn't sustain that type of pressure.
Okay, so let's make some predictions. Do the Patriots win their division again this year?
No.
Really?
No.
Who does it? The Dolphins?
I wish.
Buffalo?
I would say the Dolphins or the Bills.
I would put my money on Buffalo. Buffalo had a decent season. They had a decent season last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the Jets won't do anything, so we're good there.
Okay. Who wins the division between the Saints, Buccaneers, Falcons, Panthers?
I say the Saints. Yeah. I say the Saints. Breeze should have won it last year. They should have went all the way. I thought that would have been a great matchup there. I see them taking that same momentum and continue to capitalize on it and continue to move forward. They've got a smart enough coach where they're going to be able to come out and get some things done. And Drew Brees, I think he's nearing the end of his prime, and I think he's peaking right now. And I think
think he's peaking now?
I think he's peaking right now.
See, I feel like he's already peaked.
No, I think he's coming back strong. I think that he is making his way to where if they don't do something this year or next year, he's going to be done. He's going to hang it up. But if they can do something this year, then I think it'd be great for him.
Do the Las Vegas Raiders do anything this year?
Maybe. I don't follow much of Vegas. They're out on the East Coast. West Coast, my bad. Yeah, directions are whatever. But yeah, they may do something. Is Rivers still with Chargers? I didn't. They let him go, didn't they?
I think he's gone.
Yeah, they let him go. So he may land at a team somewhere that needs him. The Jets. Someone may like that may pick him up. Who knows? So we'll see. Well, it's definitely going to be a new year. I'm interested to see how the coronavirus is going to affect.
That's what I was going to ask you next.
With the high school sports here in Alexander County where I'm at, high school sports aren't allowed to even start up until June 15th, which is just in a couple of days from the recording of this. And so I did coach last year, but it's completely different. They would have already had 2 months of almost practice now in summertime, May spring practice, and then all of June. And so that's going to change a lot of even the high school level sports. They're talking about a reduced schedule of changing the actual schedule of how many games. So it'll be interesting to see how that affects even in the pro level.
But didn't you hear that COVID-19's dead?
Well,
Kenneth Copeland killed COVID-19.
We'll get to that in a minute.
We'll get to that. Okay.
We'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, we haven't forgot about that.
All right, that's gonna be a little bit of fun part at the end. So that's what I was gonna ask you. Who takes the season? Is it coronavirus or is it the Chiefs? But let's talk about the Chiefs real quick before we exit out of this segment. So, do you think the Chiefs can? It's probably harder than any other sport. Mm-hmm. I think any other professional sport to repeat in the NFL.
I agree.
I
mean, the Dolphins have done it, and so
in 72, 73,
71, 72.
71, 72. Patriots have gone to the Super Bowls back to back, but winning it back to back. Have they done it?
They've won it back to back. Yep.
Twice.
Mm-hmm. 2 back-to-back wins, I believe. You're correct.
Anybody else other than them?
Steelers, I think.
Steelers had their 4-year run, but I mean, in the modern era, has anybody else besides the Patriots done the back-to-back then? Broncos went back-to-back in the 90s, but they only won once, correct?
Yeah, they only won that once.
So, do you think the Chiefs get back to the Super Bowl this year? I mean, who else in the AFC do they have to go through that is concerning?
In the AFC, you've got
the Steelers, but they had a rough season last year. They've always been a powerhouse, but they had a rough season last year. I don't see them sort of putting up a fight. The Titans rose up in the playoffs. You got the Ravens. Okay, the Ravens have Lamar Jackson and this supposed amazing offense that Harbaugh boasted about. But the Titans and Vrabel came out with a plan against them, shut them down.
Yeah.
I guess my thinking is, after Tennessee did that, does every other coach in the AFC follow suit and have them figured out?
Maybe. You got the Bengals. I thought they did a decent last year. Jeff Stevens, if you're listening, I want to give you a shout out there.
Bengals?
No, I'm just joking.
They got rid of Andy Dalton, though.
They did. That was probably a good move for them.
He got paid at Dallas being second stringer.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of different – there's always those wild cards. There's always those any given Sundays when it can happen.
Correct.
Tennessee. Little move reference there. Yeah. But, you got to look and see, okay, well, you've got some quality teams out there with some things changing up. Tennessee could come out easily and take care of them. Belichick, like I said before, he's a great cheater. He could find a way to come out and –
More with the Belichick hate!
And find a way there, but I think we'll really see what's going to happen. I think week 1, week 2 of how much this off-season COVID is going to really affect the NFL this next year. You may have a team that was maybe lackluster, but these prime teams, a Tom Brady who's coming in with a brand new team, who's not going to be able to have those connections that he's been able to have for the last 20 years. At the Patriots, now he's coming to a new team, and with limited practice, with limited effort there, you're going to see maybe him not be able to execute as well as he did before.
Oh, I think that's it. Because I think that's a given. It's not going to be the same situation.
Yeah. And you look back at those quarterbacks who shifted teams, with Jerry Rice, and when he moved, when he was there, and he had 2 quarterbacks that came in. It took Jerry Rice a year to get acclimated to his new quarterback. And so it's going to take time, and I don't think they're going to have that time that they're wanting because of what's going on with the pandemic.
Okay, so what if one player in all of the league, I mean, you're talking about tons, 50 players per team?
55, I think, the roster, yeah.
Yeah, one player, that's a lot of guys. One player tests positive. Mm-hmm. The league shuts down.
Maybe that's what happened to NBA.
But that was at the beginning of this thing.
It was.
And I don't want to get into political opinions about any of this stuff. But I guess that's the interesting thing. Will we end up seeing even a Super Bowl this year?
everything else is live stream. We may just get a live stream Super Bowl. Those commercial ads are going to be more expensive this year than ever, I think.
Oh, my goodness.
More people are going to be watching.
$20 million for 5 seconds?
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited about some football. I always I get pumped whenever we get closer to football season. I like the NBA. I don't know what they're going to do with that. I enjoy the NBA season, the playoffs, and those things. But so quarantine happened, or I like to use my air quotes quarantine. I don't think we really saw a true quarantine, but I understand we're locked down. A lot of people in the country couldn't do a whole lot. So viewing and entertainment stuff went up.
It did.
And so what? First of all, what's something awesome that you've watched in the past coronavirus months?
Well, I've got 2 kids, and if anyone out there knows me, I've got a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, a boy and a girl. And so, pandemic hit, all the theaters shut down, and the new Trolls movie came out. And so, as a dad, I did the dadly duty and went out and bought popcorn and rented the Trolls 2 movie and watched it about 15 times in one day with my daughter, because
I must suck as a dad because I didn't do anything like that.
She said, "Dad, I want to watch Trolls," and we had it. And my thought was, I paid $16 to rent the movie for 48 hours.
So you just watched it on repeat?
So we watched it as much as we possibly could.
Oh, my goodness.
And so then we did watch the Scoob movie. I thought the Scoob movie was great.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's a great movie. I thought it did really good justice. They brought in a lot of characters from the Scooby-Doo universe.
We're getting into deep canon of Scooby-Doo now.
The Boomerang universe, where they brought in a lot of the different old school cartoons that they were able to bring in. And I thought they did a really, really good job.
They have Johnny Quest on there?
They didn't have Johnny Quest, no.
This is the closest thing to something like that we had. My middle daughter, Mackenzie, is 5 years old, and we let her have a tablet, and I forgot the tablet was connected to Amazon Prime. And so find out when all this stuff hits and they're dropping these movies that are supposed to be in theaters for like $20 to rent. Yeah, she bought Onward for $20 and watched it before we even knew about it. I'm like, wait, we own this movie? You spent $20?
Nice.
Next day, you'd think that I would get her tablet and fix this problem. No. I just get frustrated and then move on. Next day, I get up and she's like, "Dad, check this movie out. This is so funny. It's Jumanji, Welcome to the Next Level," and she's already watched 30 minutes of it unedited. I mean, 5 years old. We were like, my oldest daughter, we let her watch it, but we were able to use the VidAngel app and edit some of the language out. And here's my 5-year-old like, "This movie's hilarious." And I'm like, "Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Let me see that." She showed it to me. She bought that one, too. So $40 in 2 days on 2 movies.
Well, John, you're made of money, so you're good.
I will say one kids movie that we watched that I was actually genuinely surprised about it being decent was Sonic the Hedgehog.
So I haven't seen it yet. My son went and saw it in the theaters, and I've been wanting to watch it now that it's came out, but I just hadn't had a chance. Hadn't had a lot of time with everything that's been going on. So, but I do want to watch the new one.
I thought it was decent. Jim Carrey goes classic Jim Carrey.
That's great stuff.
He goes old school Jim Carrey, and he nails it. He was really good. Really good at it. Okay, so what about some more mature viewing? Not like mature viewing.
Whoa, John, where are we going with this podcast, son?
That's not what I meant.
Wow.
That's not what I meant.
Went deep real quick.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, I'm going to edit that one out. So, no, I'm talking about like, okay, let me give you an example. The other night, Mary and I have a movie night, and we sit down to watch this movie, Shia LaBeouf movie. And Shia LaBeouf, I know, is a little cuckoo crazy sometimes, but I love his acting. I think he's a great actor. Did a movie called The Peanut Butter Falcon. Have you heard of it?
Never saw it.
Yeah, it's like an independent film. It's about this guy. He plays a guy in North Carolina, sort of works on a fishing docks, rough character, seems to have trouble doing the right thing. Gets in some trouble with some guys that want to beat him up. And then the other storyline is a Down syndrome adult guy who's stuck in a nursing home because he doesn't have any family and the state doesn't know what to do with him, and he's upset that he's in there with a bunch of old people. So he wants to go to a little town in North Carolina to go to a wrestling school.
Okay.
Called the Saltwater Redneck School for Wrestling. And so he breaks out of the nursing home and he hides in Shia LaBeouf's boat, and then they sort of develop a friendship, and it was genuinely it's a movie I recommend.
Okay.
I highly recommend. Got a little bit of language, but I highly recommend it. I thought it was fantastic.
Now you said he went to this wrestling school. For all any of my IFB friends out there, is this where Nathan Rager went to wrestling school at?
Did he go to wrestling school?
No, but he always wanted to. He said he loved wrestling and loved all those guys. But that's besides the point.
Do you ever watch WWE?
Not really, not much. We used to wrestle at your house all the time, out in the backyard.
Went through several years where we were big into it. Sting was my guy. Sting was a big Sting fan.
John Cena, baby.
You can't see me. Okay, so Peanut Butter Falcon was a good one that I've seen, and
well, not movie wise, but me and my wife, we're a big Walking Dead fan.
Really?
Huge Walking Dead fan. And
no.
So this last
you just
season,
told the world that.
I did. I'm not ashamed of it. We've watched my brother got me hooked on it on season 3.
See, I've heard
the storyline is fantastic.
Addicting.
The storyline is so fantastic. If you can watch and get past the gore, it's really gory the first couple of seasons, but then the storyline really gets so thick that it's so great. And so the last season 10, this last one, I'm pretty sure season 10, the last episode got cut off because of the coronavirus. They couldn't finish.
Like they started showing it, and then 30 minutes in, they cut it off?
No, so they couldn't finish production. They've already recorded it, but they have so much of the behind-the-scenes video stuff they have to do to add the green effects.
Post-production, yeah.
Post-production stuff. They finished the last episode, but the post-production isn't done yet, and it's all filmed in Georgia. So until Georgia opens up their video facilities...
Well, have they released the 9th episode?
So they released the one before that.
So
15.
You've watched episode 9?
We've watched 15, yeah.
Oh, no, you're on season 10.
Season 10, episode 15 is the last one. Episode 16 is the season finale. They couldn't do the season finale because of the coronavirus. So
they didn't have it prepared up to that point?
Because they finish them a couple weeks beforehand.
Really?
Just so that
I'm here thinking that they're like, they've got everything done 2 months before release date.
No, they produce it weeks beforehand just so that nothing can be leaked out. They don't want anyone knowing anything that's going on. So if you're not in that scene, you don't know what happened in that scene. Like they keep everything very, very tight
down.
Because they don't want any leak. They want it to be as surprise as everything. So we get to the last episode, season 15. We get that next Sunday, and they come on and they say they're not showing it because of the coronavirus. So me and my wife were sort of in limbo. So we started right after that. The next week, we went back to episode 1, season 1.
Rewatched it,
and we went through every single episode. We're like season 5 right now. And
so are you telling me
instead
I
of
should
movies,
watch this?
I recommend it. I think it's good.
Really. I may. See,
I
just don't do zombies. I've never done the zombie and the vampire thing.
Yeah, it's a great storyline, and if you can, the first season is rough because they didn't think it was even going to work, and so some of the acting and you can see they're really young and just bad actors, but they've grown in their character after season 2 and 3, and now we're at season 5, and it's really getting good again. And I'm picking up on things that I missed those first times around. Like, they'll mention something like something that's big right now in season 10. They actually mentioned it in season 1. It's almost like Easter eggs, but
we've done that with a couple of shows that we really got into.
Yeah.
We go back and watch it again after a year or so where we've forgotten everything. Well, she forgets everything. I remember everything, but she'll laugh at that whenever she listens to this.
Outside of Star Wars, John, let me ask this. I know you said you're a Star Wars fan. Outside of Star Wars, is there a trilogy or a group of movies that you watch every year?
Every year?
Every year. Or you watch on a regular basis?
A couple. But I'd say until Avengers Endgame came out, I would rewatch every Marvel.
Okay.
And I would rewatch every MCU movie leading up to the newest one released.
Yeah.
And I did that like a couple of times a year. My wife is so sick of that. She's glad that Avengers Endgame had released because I probably won't do that again.
Yeah. Well, see, me and my wife, our big thing is, and she got me hooked on this, our 2nd or 3rd year of marriage.
Harry Potter?
She's a huge Harry Potter fan.
No!
And
I totally just guessed that. I was like, he's going to go Harry Potter because he just went Walking Dead.
Yeah, and so she, every year...
Man, anybody that listens to my podcast that is IFB, I hope they don't listen.
Yeah,
they will hate us.
They're gonna.
You just went to the two... I mean, you just went Harry Potter.
I went straight demons and witchcraft, and I'm just going straight to hell.
Have you had... Okay, let me... Before I'll let you finish what you're saying, but I want to ask you this. Had you ever heard Harry Potter mentioned from the pulpit?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, in Arkansas at college, we heard it in the pulpit.
I don't remember that. I remember in high school hearing it.
Yeah, so we've heard that, but see, my wife has always been a Harry Potter fan. So when we got married,
Is she a book reader?
She hasn't read the books.
Okay.
She is a book reader. She just hasn't ever had the opportunity to read them, but she wants to. So we watch those every year around Thanksgiving time. We pull out all of our Harry Potter movies and watch.
What's
them.
the best one?
Best one for me, I like the Half-Blood Prince a lot.
Half-Blood Prince.
And I think that's that's the fourth one. And of course the last one, Deathly Hallows, is really good. But I really like that.
Okay, let me ask you this. I don't know. I know probably least about Harry Potter than any other geekdom out there.
You're an IFB guy. That's why.
I'm twitching. You can't see it, but I'm twitching. Okay. What makes women stupid is college. Okay, Steven Anderson. So what I was going to ask you is, I know a little bit about this. Do you like, because some Harry Potter fans like the series, but the prequel movies coming out, the
Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts.
I watched the first one. I couldn't really get into it, and then the second one really got weird. I guess if I sat down and watched them, I probably could, but I haven't sat down and watched them enough to see if I'm going to like them. So I tried to get my wife to watch them, and she was like, "Nah, they're not Harry Potter."
I can't.
I wish they would, if they were doing anything.
So she won't do it.
They're not Harry Potter, so she doesn't want to.
But it's the same world.
It's the same world, but it's not Harry Potter. That's the thing. It's not the same antagonist, the same, Voldemort.
It's not the three kids.
Yeah. So what I really wish they would do, I really wish they would fast forward, 60 years into the future and have Harry Potter as like Hogwarts headmaster, and his kids are there, and he's the new great wizard.
Has J.K. Rowling wrote any books about that time period?
No, but I just thought it'd be cool to, because at the very end of the last movie, they fast forward and they.
Thanks for spoiling it.
Oh, sorry. They fast forward and they go. It's only like a 2-minute clip, and they've got them married and they've got kids and they age them, and their kids are going off to Hogwarts for the very first time as teenagers. So it's almost like, hey, we've got something here. We may run with it, but I think they just said, hey, we're going to cut our ties and end. And Disney, they've got the Harry Potter world and all that cool stuff. Universal, whatever.
Universal, yeah. No, as far as series, Joy, I like James Bond. I watch, but I haven't.
I haven't gotten to the new ones yet, though.
I haven't gone through the James Bond franchise. I got all of them, but I haven't gone through them in a while.
I picked up Mission Impossible again the other day and watched all those. I thought that was
Mission Impossible got some.
Yeah.
But Tom Cruise is going to kill himself trying to do some kind of Scientology, crazy superhuman stuff. Yeah. And I've always said, okay, I don't mind being entertained watching you do that kind of stuff.
Well, hey, we're sort of running out a little bit of time here. Let me ask you this: thoughts on the new Batman movie?
I don't know.
As we start going to the new stuff,
I don't know what the heck DC is doing. DC just makes no. I'll tell you, the only thing coming out of DC that I'm excited about is the Snyder Cut. And for those of you that are a little lost with this, a couple years ago they released a Justice League movie, and the director of it was a guy named Zack Snyder. His son or daughter, one of his children died suddenly, so he had to come off of the movie, and the studio was not liking the direction anyway. So they brought a new guy in, reshot a lot of the movie, and basically released a totally different movie, from what I understand, than what he intended. And so fans have always wanted the Snyder Cut. And so HBO Max comes out, and they come out with an announcement that they're finally going to drop $30 million for him to finish the movie. And it's going to be like 6 episodes. It's going to be good. It's going to be really long, and he's going to make it the way he wants it. Yeah. I'm pumped about that.
Now, the only thing I'm sad about is I'm a huge Flash guy. I'm a huge Superman guy. I'm a bigger DC guy than I am a MCU-verse guy. And I didn't mind the new Flash. I thought he was a little quirky.
Oh, yeah, I
different.
loved him. I thought he was good.
No, I love the Flash TV show as well, and I wish they would have used him, but I did like how in Crisis they did merge all those Flashes together. I thought that was good. But, this new Batman movie coming out, I'm just, when you break out Twilight guy and he's...
No, I think he's going to do a great job.
Okay.
I do. I think he's going to do a great job. I just don't understand what is it connected? Is it not connected?
Yeah.
Why are you doing it if it's not connected? What is connected in the universe? Joker, is it connected to Joker? It's not connected to Joker. Is it connected? I don't know what they're doing, and I don't know why they can't get their ducks in a row.
It's almost like Spider-Man in the MCU verse. Let's just create 3 different Spider-Mans in 3 different universes with 3 different guys, with 3 different color people, with all the different crazy storylines. One has webs built into him. One's actually making webs. Like, it's so crazy. Okay, which Spider-Man are you talking about? Which one? Which one do you like the best? I don't know. There's 9 different Spider-Man movies, all about the same guy at the same age. Like, what's going on here?
One last time before we move on from the entertainment thing and get into the death of COVID-19. One show that I've tried to pick back up, I've never watched completely through, is The Office.
Oh, The Office.
I'm trying to finish The Office.
Yes. I love The Office.
You're an Office guy.
I'm a huge Office guy. We've watched The Office probably 3 or 4 times through.
All of them?
All of them. Every single one of them, yeah. We binge watch The Office. There's only 10 seasons, so it's easy to quick through it. When you don't have any. Our big time of binging shows and catching up is in the summertime. We don't have any shows coming on. My wife's a big Survivor fan, some reality TV stuff. And so all of our, reality TV shows that we would watch on Netflix or whatever sort of go to the back burner. So we catch up on all those in the summertime. And last time I watched The Office fully through, what I do now when I watch The Office is I watch The Office on holidays. Okay? So I watch all of the Christmas episodes leading up to Christmas. And I watch all of the Halloween episodes leading up to Halloween. And I watch all the different Nick shows leading up to that point. So all the New Year's episodes leading up to it. And I've got one where you play Kevin spilling his pot of chili and crying on New Year's Day. As it strikes 12 o'clock, that happens. And so it's a really cool the way we watch them now. We don't watch them traditionally from start to finish anymore.
Favorite moment? Do you have Can you pick one?
My favorite moment of the entire Office episode is Dwight and Jim. And they're always those opening...
Yeah, the cold opens.
The cold openings, yeah, that's what they're called. And my favorite one is when they have the wrapped desk. The wrap desk where Jim comes in early and wraps Dwight's desk. And
is that where he puts a stapler in Jell-O?
No, well that's a different one.
Okay.
But this one's where he wraps the entire desk and he makes his desk look like it's real, but it's all cardboard.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And he comes in and he goes, "Well, it took me about 5 minutes to wrap it." And Dwight goes, "I'm a black belt. It would take me 5 seconds to unwrap it." And he said, "Well, no, whatever." And so as Dwight sits down and throws his briefcase on the desk like he does every day, the entire thing collapses in on itself. And he's just sitting there and he stands up and yells, "Michael!" The classic Michael yell. And that's probably my favorite opening of all time that they did. That's the one that always comes to my mind immediately. There's some other good ones, but that one has to probably be one of my top 5.
I haven't finished it all the way through, but I've passed the Steve Carell after Michael Scott leaves.
Yeah.
I'm past that point. My favorite moment has to be when they do the fire alarm, Dwight's fire alarm test, and he sets the building on. It's not really on fire, but everybody spazzes out and freaks out.
And Michael goes, when he starts yelling about himself, "Save me! Save me!"
And somebody all of a sudden is in the ceiling and it
falls through. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Okay. You watching Space Force?
I am. I'm on episode 8 right now.
Okay. So. All I got to say is the monkey putting together the thing, whatever the monkey and the grill. I'm dying. Classic. And then the monkey's floating through space. He's like, "Let's check the dog." Seriously, you think the dog can do better?
We're not giving the monkey a prize now. He ate the dog. Rescind that award. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's enough of that. We're going to move on to this. This is going to be a casual Friday segment we're going to do. It's just insanity in the church, and one of the absolute most ridiculous movements within Christianity, and I hate to call it even Christianity, is the health, wealth, prosperity gospel movement. They have some of the most ridiculous people, but the sad part about it is so many people follow this. I mean, there's a reason why Kenneth Copeland's net worth is $730 million.
Yeah.
And people, I mean, the people give them the money, and they're absolutely crazy. But in March, we're in June. Yep. In March, some of you probably seen this. I think it was like the second week of this really hitting America. I don't know, I'm not accurate on my timeline there, but I'm talking about like with churches changing things up. Mm-hmm. He did a message where he declared COVID-19 dead. Okay, James, go ahead and play that clip.
So this is the remix clip, because I think the remix clip is so much better than the actual message.
I think it kills it.
And so if you want to go look this up, it's on YouTube. You can type it up anywhere. You can just type in Ken Copeland COVID-19 remix. And so this is what it says.
Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord. COVID-19, 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 COVID-19. I blow the wind of God from the state of Washington to the state of Maine to Brownsville, Texas, and the tip of Florida. Today, we speak to this atmosphere. Today, burn this thing. This virus hates heat. You just burn this thing. Burn. I call for a supernatural heat wave straight out of hell. Burn. COVID-19, 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 COVID-19. I blow the wind of God. You don't do it. You don't do it. You don't do it. You get out of here now. Burn. You don't do it. You don't do it. You don't do it. You get out of here. Burn this thing. COVID-19, 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 COVID-19. I blow the wind of God. You are destroyed forever, and you'll never be back.
Well, there you have it.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that.
I don't know what people get sick off of, but it ain't COVID-19.
No. You know what aggravates me the most about that is he called it a victory campaign.
A victory campaign?
A victory campaign. You give money so that he can get rid of COVID-19.
Oh, he really did that?
Yeah, that's what it was called. It was a victory campaign.
They were collecting.
And people were sending money. And he had his little 4 minion around. And if you actually watch the actual original part, it's actually pretty funny because he would say something and his little 4 minions that are around him sort of like look at each other like they have to repeat it. And so they would be like, COVID-19, COVID-19. It was really awkward and weird, so the remix is better. But what aggravates me is he's raising money to get rid of COVID-19, and he's just taking it and spending it for himself to buy probably a new jet.
Oh, yeah. It's absolutely crazy, ridiculous. Him, Jesse Duplantis, Benny Hinn, it's just the words are not there yet, but it's just absolutely insanity. And so thank you for listening. If you made it through this, we'll do another Casual Friday episode coming up soon. James, thanks for being with me today, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, John. I appreciate it.
And you guys stay safe and watch out for Kenneth Copeland.
That's right.